So I've kind of been like tapping my foot, crossing my arms like, Jesus, this is not how I thought it was gonna go. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Dominique Jezel, and today I am going to be doing a get ready with me chit chat video. I don't think I've ever done one of these on my channel, and if I have, it's probably only once, but I thought that it would be a good day to show you guys what I do typically when I do my makeup, and also to just update you guys. So I'm going to be talking to you guys just about pretty much what's been on my mind and on my heart lately. And as you guys can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about my relationship with God, grad school, and the goals that I have for myself moving forward. So let's go ahead, sorry, something just flew in my eye, and get started with this video. Also, if my voice level fluctuates, it's because I feel super awkward because my neighbors are home and I know they can hear me because I can hear them. Sit. Super awkward. But first things first, I'm gonna take a cotton round like this, and I'm taking my Dickinson's Witch Hazel to tone my skin. I only do this when I haven't washed my face yet. That's typically on days where I took my shower at night, because my skin is really dry and I don't like to wash my face a lot, so I just use a cotton round. And it gets off whatever makeup didn't come off yesterday when I washed my face, and just preps my skin. And it dries really quickly, so I don't have to wait that long. Like, look at that. Look how gross that is. Ugh. I'm gonna moisturize my face with my Pond's Clarent B3 Dark Spot Correcting Cream. So, let's start off with grad school. If you guys watch my update video from the beginning of the year, I talked about how I was in grad school at the time, and you know, I don't know if I mentioned what I was going to school for, I might have, but I was talking about just like my plans and my goals and all the things that I wanted to do. I'm gonna prime my face with, I guess, career-wise. Well, just a quick update on that. I am no longer in grad school. I did the first couple weeks of the second semester of my first year of grad school, and I decided that I wanted to withdraw from classes. All the way through the first semester, I really struggled with if this is what I wanted to do, if I really heard God right when I thought he was telling me to go to grad school, or if I was just doing it because I was currently in a position where it made sense to go to school. Right now I'm working as like a behavioral support specialist, and the way they have it set up, if you are in like the mental health care field or you are a counselor or whatever, you know that in order to become officially licensed, you have to do practicum hours and internship hours. And the way that my job is, since I'm doing behavior support and I work alongside a counselor, it's like the perfect job for somebody who wants to become a counselor, because you can use your work hours for your practicum hours. So you don't have to do it after work, and you're basically getting paid to do your internship, which is like really, really hard to find a situation like that. So I was like, okay, well that makes sense. And then I also kind of went off the opinions of others. Everybody was like, when I say everybody, I really just mean like a couple people were telling me how good I am at what I do and that it's just really a good fit. And so I'm like, well, I got my degree in counseling and Spanish, like I probably should use one of these, and decided that, you know, let's just go to grad school. So I enrolled and I started going to grad school full-time, and I was working full-time, and honestly, I was struggling. I got all A's, but I don't know, like it was really, really hard to motivate myself. And what was different for me this time going to school was that I was actually exposed to what I would be doing. And I could see myself doing it, because I mean, I'm doing it for the most part already, but I wasn't extremely like excited about it. Like when I thought about doing it forever, I wasn't like hype about it. I'm gonna fill my eyebrows in really quickly, and I actually might skip over this part because this takes a lot of concentration, okay? Yeah, so I was going to school and I was just really questioning if it's really what I wanted to do. Like, do I really want to go into debt to do this thing, right? And one of my desires before I started to go back to school, I was just kind of like, God, like, if this is really what I'm supposed to do, you know, like, provide for it. Like, I don't want to go into more debt and all of that good stuff. Well, God did not provide for it in the sense that I didn't have to take out loans. So that was one thing I struggled with doing it as well. Like, did I really get confirmation that I was supposed to do this? Because I'm going into debt and I really don't want to go into more debt. And like, I'm in Montana right now and counselors really don't make a lot of money in this state. And that was another thing I struggled with going to school here. They basically, every grad school for counseling, I don't know about other things, but they prepare you to pass the test and to be a counselor in that state. And so I was like, well, I guess I could just transfer it or transfer my credentials or whatever, but counseling it's not like the same requirements in every state, and they are working towards it. And when I mean they, I mean like the counseling association or whatever is working towards making it so it's more streamlined, so counselors can go from state to state and not have to worry about getting relicensed, or if you're getting relicensed, just, you know, take a quick exam and not have to worry about what courses you took. Because some states, you have to take certain classes to be considered a counselor, and not every program is designed and geared the same way. So that was something that I was really struggling with as well. Like, I don't really want to live in Montana for the rest of my life, and I didn't even really want to be here for as long as I have been. So when all of that started to happen, when I started to really think about all of that, I thought about it before I went to school, but I don't know. I did it anyway, and I decided to withdraw until I really felt like it was something that I wanted to go into more debt for. And that hasn't happened yet. So right now I'm not in school, and I'm just working full-time as a behavior specialist still, and that's something that I've been struggling with as well, because I enjoy the children that I work with. I think it's a privilege and an honor to work with them. They're sweet kids, and it's definitely opened my eyes to the reality of, I don't know, what children can really be like, because you know, the kids, I work in an elementary school, and so I feel like you get to see a little bit more of their personalities and stuff because they're not around their parents. And it can be pretty interesting and sometimes, you know, overwhelming, but it's been challenging. But I've just been really struggling with, okay, God, like, why am I doing this job? Like, besides to pay my bills, would I show up? And to be perfectly honest, no, I would not show up to this job if I did not have bills to pay. Like, and you know, I get that I have to work, obviously, because I have bills to pay and I want to take care of myself and all of that stuff, and I want to be responsible. But at the same time, I'm also realizing as I'm getting older, I turned 25 this year, not like that super old, but you know, I'm gonna be 30 in 5 years, and I'm thinking about how short life is, and do I really want to do something that I would not show up and do for free for 10 plus years. So dropped out of grad school, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I really don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I'm passionate about. When I was younger, I really loved doing YouTube videos. I was super into it, but I was never consistent with it, and that's something that I struggle with even now, is just the consistency of doing this. Hold up, guys. Like, the mirror that I usually use to do my makeup is behind my camera because I'm not fancy and I don't have like a screen that I could look at to make sure that I'm in frame. So I'm trying to do this with just my compact, and it's proving to be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so this Maybelline concealer, as you guys can see, is way too light for me to conceal with, but I bought it and I thought this color would work, and I do not believe in wasting products, so I've been trying my darndest to make it work for my skin. And I'm gonna take this like cheap wannabe beauty sponge, and I'm gonna spritz it with some water and blend this out. So yeah, that's what's kind of going on as far as grad school. My current goals right now, honestly, I have always wanted to go to Spain. Like, I've always wanted to go to Spain. I've always wanted to just, I don't know, just be there, experience the culture, experience the people. When I was a senior in college, they actually went to Spain, but it was gonna be like $4,000 for a week, and I had the money. I had like exactly $4,000, but I just couldn't do it because it was just so expensive, and I was like, it's only gonna be for a week. But looking back, now that my relationship with God has developed a little bit more, I know that that was an opportunity from God to go. Because here's the thing, like, I think sometimes when you don't have that relationship with God, that foundation, you can think some things are coincidences, or like, dang, I was really lucky. But once you realize how involved God is in everybody's life, like people who even don't know him yet, like, he's always there. We are all his children. We just all don't get the benefits of being his children when we don't recognize that he's our Father and he's God. So I realize now that, like, that wasn't no mistake, that I had always wanted to go to Spain. Like, the last semester of being in college, this opportunity comes up when it had never been there. It's $4,000 and I have exactly that much. So I'm better with it now, but when I first started to build my relationship with God and I realized I missing out on the opportunity, like, I really was sad about it. But that desire is still there, and I believe that it's a desire from God. So I don't know how, don't know when. I've thought about like teaching English abroad and looking into programs where I could do that in Spain, but it's so competitive because everybody wants to go to Spain. But that's my dream, and I've thought about just chilling and saving and kind of doing it in my own strength and seeing what happens. But I know that right now, like, if I wanted to do something like that, it just really wouldn't be feasible, because now, unlike a couple years ago, like, I have some serious responsibilities. Like, I signed a lease, I have my car now, and I can't just pick up and go to another country. But as far as moving, because like I said, I mentioned to you guys earlier that I'm in Montana, and I came here to help take care of my nephew. If you guys watched my trusting the process video, you'll remember that whole story. If not, you should go watch it, and I'll link it below and put it in the info card for you guys. But yeah, so now my sister has moved. She got PCS to another base. And so I have no family here. I have my church family, who I love. I love my church family. But it's not like, you know, it's not family. And I have no reason to really be here. Like, there's nothing tying me here that makes me think I can't go. So my plan right now is to move to Indianapolis, where my mama is, and live with her for a year and kind of figure out what I'm doing with my life. I accomplished a few of my goals that I always wanted to live by myself. I'm doing that. I've got my own apartment, so I feel like I've accomplished that goal, even though it's only been 6 months. Like, now I'm not so bent on not living with somebody, because, you know, when I was younger, I always shared a room with every single one of my siblings. When I went to college, I had a roommate. Then when I moved off campus, I lived with my ex-boyfriend. Then when I moved here, I lived with my sister. So I just wanted to have that adult experience of living on my own and knowing that I could do it and I could provide for myself. And don't get me wrong, it's really tough because just financially right now, I'm spent. But, you know, it is what it is. That's life. You work, you pay bills, and hopefully that's not all you do. And I guess that's what I'm really working towards, is getting to that point in my life where not the only thing I do is go to work and pay bills. And I really am just trying to figure out what the next step is for real. But I plan on moving next year. So I've got to start saving for that. And my baby sister graduates next year, which is crazy. She graduates from high school. So I need to get myself together to make sure I can make that trip. So there's just a lot of things for me to think about. And I guess right now where I'm at, just like with God, is realizing that it never stops. Like, I don't know, I guess because I recently just got really serious about my relationship with God, and you think that you're done with a certain test, or you think that you've passed it, or you think that maybe in this area, like, you're gonna stop struggling. But I'm realizing that, like, there's always something that God is refining in you. Like, it does not stop until we die or the rapture happens and we're with him face to face. Like, he's always molding you. And that's been really hard for me because I thought by this point some things would be different. I thought by this point maybe I would have found bae. Like, just to be honest with you guys, it's been like almost 2.5 years since me and my ex broke up, and I've been pretty single for most of that time. Like, I've talked to a couple of guys, but nothing like serious. I haven't been in a relationship since that relationship, so I've kind of been like tapping my foot, crossing my arms, like, Jesus, this is not how I thought it was gonna go. I thought you was gonna give me a man. Like, what's going on? But like, what can you do? Like, if you really want God's best for you and you really want his plan for your life, you just kind of have to trust him and wait and see. And honestly, that is the hardest thing to do. It's so hard to just wait and just kind of be like, I guess I'm just gonna see what God does, because it takes absolute faith and trust. And I realized I've been doing like a lot of devotionals and Bible studies about faith and patience and the correlation between those things. And God has really been showing me that there are a lot of things that I really don't trust him in. And at first I wouldn't have admitted that, like, to anybody. Barely would have really admitted it to myself, because, you know, that's not very holy to not trust God, right? But over this last, I want to say this last 6 months, he's really been just kind of dealing with me about just that basic fundamental element of having a relationship with God, and that's to have a strong and secure and unshakable faith. Because honestly, guys, as children of God, everything you do is by faith. You know, just even to declare that God is Lord and that his son came and died for us on the cross and rose on the third day, and to believe and take the Bible as truth and as fact, that takes a lot of faith. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, sometimes I read the Bible and I be looking at the word like, I don't know about that, God. But my relationship has gotten to the point where, like, I can say that. Like, I can say, God, I don't really know if, you know, like, because that really doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't really sound right. And I find that my relationship has gotten so much better since I've just been kind of honest with myself and with God about where I'm really at. Like, oh, I thought that I was over this, or I thought I had I didn't think I struggled with this anymore, but Lord, I still do, and I really need your help with that. Instead of being like, oh no, I got it, I'm cool, everything's straight. Something that's been really hard for me is just finding the balance between my feelings and I guess my faith, because I am a feeler, and I do believe that emotions, obviously because God created them, are essential to being a human, and they can be helpful, but I also think that they can be very hurtful, especially if you're a feeler like me. Like if something doesn't feel right, or if you don't feel like you should be here, or just like you've got a weird vibe, like it's really hard to function when you don't feel peace. And I think that that's for everybody. Like when you're stressed out, you obviously don't feel that great. But I feel to the degree that like if somebody else is off, I'm off. And I've been really struggling with that, with like going to church lately. I just have a lot of anxiety about going to church, being in church. I feel like sometimes I'm in there, I feel like I can't breathe. And I'm starting to realize that it's not solely because of me or maybe things that I'm dealing with. It's because of the other people in the room. In church, even though people like to think that Christians are perfect and, because we go to church, we got it all together. Like, no, church is for hurting people. It's for people who are trying to get closer to God and really live by faith and not by sight, and showing up when you know that you're not perfect, or you know that you struggle with XYZ sin or XYZ temptation, and being like, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna still worship and I'm still tithe and I'm gonna be involved, knowing that I'm broken and I'm weak and I need God. But a lot of people go to church and act like because they go to church that they're like super free and super happy, and I do believe that obviously we're all on different levels. So yeah, that's how it should be. We should all have that feeling of peace and trust in God no matter what happens. But we're human, and like I said, we have emotions, and that's kind of like where I really, really struggle. Like if I feel like things are off in some way, it's really hard for me to function and to see God's hand in things. But when I feel good, like literally, and I don't just mean like things are perfect, because there are times where everything's not happening. Oh, I went too far. Whoops. Everything's not happening the way I want it to, but there's just this feeling like I feel God's presence and I feel at peace, and so everything's cool. But when I don't have that and things are kind of off, like it's really hard for me to remember to pray and to remember to go to the Word and to like depend on God and like refuel and reconnect. Like it's really, really hard for me. So that's kind of like the season that I'm in right now, is just really just getting my fundamentals down, my fundamentals of faith, and trusting God to fix and heal and provide. Because Lord, when I tell you, I'm like really, I'm starting to really stress out, because like I told you guys, I went to grad school, and so my loans went into forbearance when I was in school, so I wasn't paying them for a little minute, and now they're about to come out of forbearance, not in, with this new balance on it. And when I was paying before, I think I was paying, I want to say I was paying $200 a month, but at that time, like I don't think I had my car yet, and I was living with my sister, so $200 was like, okay, a lot, but I'm just trying to be honest and transparent with you guys, because I think sometimes it can feel like you're the only one going through, and you're the only one not hearing from God, like, you know what I'm saying? But you're not the only one. Like, we're all going through something, and we're always all gonna be going through something, and not necessarily that it's a negative thing. Sometimes your blessings come with challenges. and stresses. Like, my job was definitely a blessing, but it comes with its stresses and its challenges. Being able to live on my own is definitely a blessing, but it comes with its challenges and its own stress. And it's just all about learning how to balance it all and really developing a secure faith and good foundation in Christ, so that when the trials come, you stand on the word of God and not your emotions. I'm about to run out of space, so I have to go. Okay guys, sorry about that. My memory card ran out of space, so I had to put this video that I just filmed on my computer so I could delete it. I need a bigger memory card because I don't have that much filming time on here. But I'm pretty much done with my face. Like, it's usually pretty simple. I forgot to put chapstick on though at the beginning, so that my lips were like nice and moisturized by now. Whoops. But yeah, I've done my brows, put a little eyeshadow on. I don't really do that much. This is literally like my everyday face. And then my lip just kind of depends on my mood that day. Like, I will wear reds on an everyday basis, bold purples, burgundies. But lately I've been really liking these Milani lip glosses that I got from the Dollar Tree forever ago. And I wish they would come back because they're only $1 at the Dollar Tree. I should have bought like tons of backups because I love them so much. But whenever I look online, like the lowest I could find them is like $3, like $2.99. And my cheap self is waiting for Dollar Tree to bring them back so I can get it for $1 if they do, because sometimes they do bring stuff back. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my face. I can't really remember what I was talking about before I ran out of space, but more or less that's pretty much where I'm at, just like with God, not going to grad school, and like the goals that I kind of have right now. So if you're kind of in the same boat as me, kind of entering your mid-20s and really not knowing what to do with yourself, it's okay, you're not alone. I was starting to kind of feel some type of way because most of the people that I went to school with, or maybe it just seems that way, like the people I went to high school with, that I still kind of keep in touch with based off of like they're still my friends on Facebook. I may not talk to them though. They're either like married and or have kids or in serious relationships, and like a lot of the people that I went to school with are working on their second degrees, like their professional degrees, you know, going back to school to be counselors, being lawyers, and they're either graduated, they're done, or about to graduate. So I'm kind of like, well, darn it, like what should I do with myself? What should I do with my life? And really trying to seek God for that. But when I tell y'all, it's been pretty dry from heaven, or at least he's not answering in a way that I've been able to pick up on. But earlier today I watched this video about like why does it seem God's not answering our prayers, and I'll link that video down below because I thought it was really like helpful, and it kind of gave me a little bit more reassurance, I guess, about where I'm at and how I'm feeling about my relationship with God right now, and kind of just freed up some anxiety a little bit. And yeah, I think you guys should watch it, so I'll link that down below if you are interested in watching it. I will also link the blog post that I'm gonna put all of the products I use instead of putting it in the description box, so that you guys go to my blog and give me some love over there. But that is it for this video. I hope this was entertaining, somewhat helpful, somewhat. If not, let me know down below, or if yes, give this video a thumbs up so I will know that you guys want me to do more of these chatty type talking videos. Also, leave down below any video suggestions that you have and want to see in the future. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dominique Giselle, and like my Facebook page, Dominique Giselle, because I am going to be posting more stuff over there. Oh, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share this video with somebody who may want to watch this. Maybe there's somebody you know who's going through a similar season, maybe a little bit lost, confused, feeling like God may have forgotten about you. Send this to them just so it encourages them, so that they know that God has not forgotten about them. He loves them. He sees them. Right now I've really been meditating on the names of God, and one of the names of God that always brings me tons of comfort and peace is Elroy, which literally means the God who sees me. He sees us, he hears us, and he loves us. I hope that this blesses you and whoever you share it with. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.